Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Powercast. We are back-ish. We're slowly getting there, piece by piece. We have finally seen the trailer. The trailer has dropped today, and we're excited to talk about it. I am your host, Dana, joined by Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. How are you doing this very early morning?
Doing good, Dana. What's up, listeners and viewers?
Wonderful, wonderful. And when I say very early, it's like 8 o'clock over where we at. We got to see it early. Yay. So, kind of just breaking down this trailer and everything. What were your initial thoughts? It is only a minute and 32 seconds. So it's kind of cramming some things. And of course, they left a lot of things out.
Okay, so first and foremost, I thought it was a pretty good trailer. It set the tone for what we can expect this season. My initial thoughts, well, obviously, they really emphasized this is going to be a pivotal season for Kanan. It felt like, we said this multiple times on the Powercast show. Kanan was still a focus of the other seasons, but I think more so we were waiting to see him make a huge step in becoming the Kanan that we know on the OG Power show. So it kind of felt like with the way they phrased the entire trailer, he had a conversation with Pops. Pops is asking him, saying that he needs to really envision how people see him now and forever, which I think is very important. So, and obviously, throughout the entire season, we see Kanan trying to make moves, trying to overstep his mom, Raquel, because look, he's trying to work with Stefano as well. So we get it. We definitely get a vibe from how he treated that whole situation. We see that Marvin is also putting in some work. Need to get some context as to why he is taking out these other people we see him going after in the trailer. We see that also, as you and I mentioned on the previous discussion we did about Unique, and they emphasize that Unique is coming after the Thomas family. So definitely a lot that we need to see more to get more context. But overall, I thought the trailer was great. A little surprised that Starz did not release it sooner, because it's coming out today. This is less than 30 days from the season. Still plenty of time. But I thought the trailer looked great. So I'm looking forward to the season.
I'm one of those people who's like, I think it's perfectly fine. Give a month, and then we'll get like an extended trailer. Like, I don't know, maybe in the next 15 days, whatever half a month is. And then, just show to show. I don't like when you start giving me 15,000 different trailers, because to me, that just kind of ruins the movie or the TV show. So I'm fine with like two. Give me two at most, and I'm good. So for me, it really definitely felt like this is a pivotal moment for Kanan, as you explained. And it felt like the midpoint of, how you get not a season, of like a series, where he's finally going to make decisions that will forever change his future. But to me, it also felt more like a ripple effect. Whatever he does now is going to impact other people's lives. There was a point in there that we'll get to a little bit later where we kind of seen little hints of, not even hints, but like made me question, is this when jukebox becomes a jukebox? I don't know. But I really did appreciate that. And I think that, what are we? We're in season 4. I think that it is a perfect time. I don't know when the season will end. I don't know if it's season 6, but it felt like from this moment on, I want this to be a reaction and an actual connection and chain to where we see adult Kanan and everything that goes forward from that. I don't think we're going to get him, again, I don't know how many seasons it's going to be, but this felt like I don't want to see anything from previous seasons before. And that kind of goes with the family. And we saw Uncle Marvin, that was Marvin, right? I was saying Lulu. No, that was Marvin. Cleaning up some things and doing some things with the bodies. And, they were kind of explaining that, you got to kill off a lot of people, which to me is really cute and funny, because remember in the first season, how do I shoot a gun? So it's cute. I really appreciate that. So kind of diving in here, what did you think about Kanan? For me, it was like Kanan is going to most likely convince Raquel's kind of co-workers, network of people to work with him instead. And then therefore, I'm wondering, does that mean that he is going to frame his mother as being kind of like a bad business person in a way? We did see images of the Chinese restaurant being encased with police tape. We did see a shootout where it seemed like, nobody can trust Raquel anymore. We saw that conversation that was held with the other dealers. So I was wondering, do you feel that he's going to use her connections to kind of become a man? And even though Stefano is like, nah, I work with your mama, I don't work with you. But could you see that happening?
Absolutely. I mean, Kanan's whole thing, as he said in that trailer, he didn't want to be seen as being exactly like his mom. He wanted to step out and become his own man and pursue his own path. So he is going to do that. And yes, he is going to be very underhanded in doing so. Based on what we see in this trailer, I can see him trying to steal Raquel's business partners, trying to establish and make it his own operation. So, and unlike before in the past where he tried to do certain stuff before he was ready, it definitely feels like the character is ready now to take the next step. Because yeah, as you mentioned, this is season 4. They're already working on season 5. We haven't heard any details about if it's been greenlit for another season yet. So it kind of feel like, yeah, you need to start changing him into this character, because we already know that the Power Origin show is also coming in the future. And I imagine that he will also be he's going to actually be a side character in that show. He's going to be very important in that show as well. So we definitely need to start to see him morph into the person he's going to become. But yeah, it makes sense for him to utilize what his mom has and try to find a better way to make those contacts his own at the expense of his mom, because we know that he don't like his mom whatsoever. So it makes sense.
This kind of makes me wonder. We've asked this question 15,000 times before. There is a line that Raquel says, it's one thing not to be able to trust my son. I can live with that, but I have to be able to trust my business partners. And she's referring to Kanan when she says that. Do you, again, remember when we had the original Power, Kanan said, I went to go visit moms. That could mean one of two things: mom's gravesite, or mom is alive and just retired. Do you feel that there is a possibility where push comes to shove, he will kill his mother?
That is a great question. I do think it's possible. What I think we need to see is obviously the end of last season, he saw her kill Howard right in front of him. And I would like to know what his reaction to that is going to be, because clearly he was talking to Howard. They didn't really have the best relationship, but you could see that Howard was trying to establish a relationship with him to some extent. But the thing is that we didn't get the chance to see that as viewers. So I kind of feel like, we didn't get to see his reaction yet to that. So I do want to see how that impacts him, because I think that is going to impact how he views his mom now. The fact that anybody can get taken out, whether family or not. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility of him having to take her out in the future if he needs to. But I guess we have to wait and see.
I have to rewatch that again before the season begins, because from my understanding, they lured him into the warehouse. But it was
correct.
As in Kanan was also there, right? It felt like Kanan was also there. So like he was surprised that he was dead. But to me, it was like not a surprise he was dead, because it was a combination of, I believe they was trying to lure him to bring him over there to Ronnie. So it was Ronnie. It was from my understanding, it was she took out Howard, and then Ronnie took out, not Ronnie, whatchamaface? Unique took out
Kanan.
Ronnie.
Kanan.
Kanan.
Yeah. Kanan took out Ronnie. The plan was to
Jesus.
They wanted to take out Ronnie, and then all of a sudden, after Ronnie got taken out, the surprise came when Raquel turned on Howard and took him out. So that's why I say she had an ulterior motive with that. Kanan didn't know about that ahead of time. That's why I said I want to see how he's going to react because we didn't get that reaction at the end of the season. They were just like, oh, we got to leave immediately. That was it. So, and the Unique showed up at the end when he saw all the bodies left. He didn't look too happy when he saw that. So we have to see where they're going.
There's something that I want to say that we can't say, but it's like that song that was teased throughout the entire, it does say Famous Last Words, and Famous had a song called The Streets Need a Body. And I feel like this is the theme song of the season. The streets need a body. And then kind of going off on that, let's talk about Unique. Unique is back. And he says, I've never felt more alive. And when we see Chris Redd, the actor Chris Redd, and we know that he is playing a character who is someone you could say associate to Unique, and he is terrified in his one little 2-second clip. So what do you think Unique could do?
Well, based off of what happened last season, or how we saw Unique at the end of the season 3, didn't really look happy. I mean, I kind of feel like he will probably question. I mean, what we know when we discussed the last time we recorded the discussion was that Unique obviously is gunning for the family. Now, obviously, I could only assume that he's angry because of what happened to Ronnie, but there could be some other things that are a part of that decision. So we need to get some answers on that. But I think for the most part, this is one thing I think is very interesting, because I know a lot of people, they like Joey Badass. He's done a phenomenal job as the character, but Unique was a very likable character. So I kind of feel like now they're going to flip the script and make him do some really reckless stuff this upcoming season. Whereas the people that like Unique, now they're going to find a reason to dislike Unique. Now, let's remember that, because I could be 100% wrong on what I'm guessing, but I kind of feel like that's the path they're going to take. If he is going after the family, as I mentioned on the last podcast, I said he probably needs to take out an important character in the family. So it's probably going to be a character that people like, such as Marvin or Lou. Although people don't really like Lou. So if Lulu was gone, they probably would be like, oh, whatever. He was dead weight anyway. But no, if he takes out Marvin, that will be, I think the people who are fans of Unique, they may not like that decision. So we have to wait and see if that's what they're actually going to do.
I actually like Lulu, so, but it would be so poetic. We're like, he tried to kill himself last season. He was so depressed, and only for him just to die this season when he's like, I want to live, and then he dies. To me, that's poetic. I support that. I love the actor, but I support that death. Another thing that was kind of really interesting was we saw that Kanan wants to become his own person, someone without that's not being seen by his mother. Is like, this is Raquel's son. I'm wondering if more or less, I don't see, this is why I'm leaning towards, I don't think Raquel is going to die. I think he is going to betray Raquel so severely that it is going to fracture the family. And this is what I think will we echo what he does to Tommy and Ghost. So maybe I went to go see Moms today. Could be I went to the prison. Maybe she got life. This is the 80s, I'm understanding. So maybe this means Rockefeller laws. And when she gets to prison, she's in there for life. So that's what I'm more or less kind of feeling, is that to me is a more deeper betrayal than death, is to frame her probably for all the murders. I don't know what his age is at this point. I don't know if he's still a minor. A minor. But point is, I cannot say A minor without like singing it. I do feel that is where the deep betrayal ends up becoming. And then kind of going, the last thing that I really wanted to bring out was the fact that I talked about Juke with the gun, but when he went to Sal, Tony Danza, looks amazing, by the way. And, he says, what does he say? Oh my gosh. Oh, people want to see you as you. Wait, you gotta let them know who you are. Famous last words. And then there's a gun thing that pops off. I kind of feel that one, Sal is dead. Famous Last Words is a play, obviously Famous Last Words is like a statement, but also we have Famous. I wonder if anything is going to happen to Famous as well. But I do feel that Sal is a liability because he's too connected with Raquel. And when I interviewed Tony Danza last year, it's more like he's madly in love with her and he is willing to, protect her to make sure nothing happens, even though it's a weird kind of friendship that they have. So I feel that he is that piece that will also help to knock down Raquel, and that he is moving sneakily. We saw him with like a chest and it had money in it. I don't know if that's like the family money or this is just him acting on his own. And it does say, she does tell him that, you need a lot of bodies in order to do this. And we do know that in the end of the original Power, not but the Kanan final form, he is a sociopath where he kills without regard. He killed his own son. So I'm just kind of wondering, is this the moment where we see that happen? And do you feel that Sal was Raquel's protector?
You mean Stefano?
Stefano, I kept saying Sal.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, the Sal character, that Sal character they took him out, already. But no,
during the whole cabin.
Oh no, but that's a good question about Stefano. We know that yes, he does have a thing for Raquel. We haven't seen him try to act on any of that stuff, but I would not, I would like to see where they're going with that and how because again, he is working with Raquel now. I will be curious, and obviously, my assumption is he is going to tell her that Kanan tried to work with him or tried to present an offer to him. That's what my guess is. But I will say this, I do eventually think that character will get taken out. Yeah, Tony Danza is a phenomenal actor. He looks great. But I think at some point, there got to be a lot of bodies that go out. And I do think, to the point that you said about Kanan becoming a psychopath, a sociopath, that's going to happen. And I think this is the season, again, if they really want to emphasize, this is the season where the character makes some major changes. And it needs to happen this season. He has to go on a war path, obviously. And I think it's very poetic how the season could start out where, he's just trying to figure things out. But by the end of the season, he could be a completely different character. I wouldn't be opposed to that. One thing I will say, though, in terms of him potentially going after Raquel, I don't expect anything to happen to Raquel this season. It might happen in the next season because we know that they're going to have a season 5. But we're going to definitely, I think we're going to start to see the pieces laid down of him putting together a plan to replace her completely. I think that can definitely happen. I just don't know how fast they're going to move on that. But there's a lot to look forward to. But Stefano, yes, I think Stefano eventually will get taken out. I just don't know when it's going to happen and who's going to do it. But will be quite interesting if Kanan did it. But we have to wait and see what happens.
Right. No, I completely agree with you. I don't think he's going to make it out this season. I do believe that it is going to be Kanan who does it. So that should be really interesting. I do also want to know, is there anything that you want to see this season happen to any of the characters, any kind of storyline or anything? Like for me, I know that we're kind of, to me, the jukebox storyline seemed to went really quickly, and then maybe it's kind of sputtering now. So I would like that to, bring back that thrill and excitement of what's going on with Jukebox. I would love to see her become an independent artist or maybe a solo artist. There wasn't any independent. I don't think they had independent artists back. I don't know anything about music, but the point is I want her to become a solo artist because the group has a lot of things that is going on. And also if the group does come back together, just stay away from Kanan, please, because he's a mess. So that is kind of what I would want going forward. And also, can we do something where we can get, I know it's a little early, but get Jukebox to kind of act or move in the direction of adult Jukebox? That would be nice.
No, I agree 100%. I considering how close that Jukebox and Kanan are, I feel like, yes, that she is the other character that I do expect to really grow and progress this season. Unfortunately, I will say this: we know that eventually things do not end up well for Jukebox, and I think that Marvin getting killed is a part of that. Obviously, that's just my guess. I don't know anything, but it kind of feels like there's something that's going to happen that's going to completely make her cold-hearted, and I think that when Marvin gets taken out, that's a part of that. But I do think this season, we definitely need to see the character go in a different direction, the same way Kanan is, because clearly they're going. We know who they become in the OG power, so we need to see them both take that step. So I do look forward to seeing them do more with Jukebox this season as a character and really show what else she's capable of doing. I know last season they teased that Lulu was going to get killed. You know, he was going to get taken out by his sister, all this other stuff. So I just want to know where they're going with Lulu this season in terms of where the character goes from here, because obviously he's trying to change, rehabilitate himself. But again, as it was already alluded to at the end of the last season, sometimes you can't change. You always will be the same person. So I want to see what's going to happen with him. And as for Marvin, I love London Brown's work on the show. He's been phenomenal as the character. So I'm curious to see what happens with him this season. It's going to be a very sad moment when the character gets taken out eventually. But until then, I love everything that he brings to the show. So I look forward to seeing what happens with him. And as for what else I want to see, I don't know if I can say this. I'm hoping we get another clue to Little Ghost and Little Tommy joining or meeting, or at least meeting Kanan by the end of this season. Now, obviously, that may not happen until season 5, but at some point, these characters have to meet Kanan. So I'm curious to see when that happens, just so we can get an idea. But again, they may focus this season entirely on the fallout with the family, and then next season may be about Kanan really becoming independent of everybody else. I mean, I have no idea, but I definitely want to see how they do it. I trust that they have a great plan laid out for how they tell the story. So looking forward to seeing it.
But the weather, I don't know what the weather is like where you're at, but it's a bit breezy over here. A lot of breeze. It's just coming my way. Do you think we will see breeze? Are we giving up the fact that Unique could be breeze?
Here's the thing. And this is a great question. I would love people commenting on this video to share their thoughts. I don't think that Unique is Breeze. For some reason, he could be, but I doubt it, because if he's going after the family, I mean, Kanan is a part of the family, so that would make him, it will kind of question, well, why would he team up with Kanan? So I do want to see if they're going to do something. We know when the photos got released last season, the photos leaked. You saw Unique leaving the same apartment, Kanan's same apartment. So that's why I say I want to see where they're going with that particular storyline. But I agree 100%. Breeze, yes, because they teased him. I know that it was teased that Breeze may eventually show up in the show. I kind of feel like that probably needs to happen this season. I don't know when it's going to happen. There are other characters on this show that, we talked about the cast, the people that are joining the show, that are also going to play a role this season. So I don't know if any of those characters might eventually become Breeze, or if it's somebody else completely different who they purposely did not mention is a part of the cast now. So we have to wait and see. But yeah, I 1,000% believe we're going to see Breeze before this season is over. We will know who that is, or we will get some type of major hint that this person might be Breeze. I mean, I don't know, but I kind of feel like, yeah, this season it makes sense for this character to finally be established. So
I kind of wish that Unique was alive on his own and didn't rely on Kanan or anyone else, because it would just be amazing to all these bodies suddenly dropping, and I feel like he's gonna probably most likely go back and kind of haunt Raquel. I don't know, because he did say, I've never been more alive, and that B thinks I'm dead. So it would be interesting if like these weird occurrences start happening around Raquel and she's just start losing it, like, what's going on? Is this a ghost? And he's like, yeah, I'm a ghost. And then boom, ghost. Anyway, but the point is, what I'm saying is that I really wish that they would play more with the psychological element of people not knowing that he's alive. I think at this moment, but see, the picture ruined it. The photo, because it was like, okay, Kanan would know. So he works with Kanan, could kind of like be his, I don't know, assassin, right hand man guy situationship. But then I'm like, why would he need Kanan? Because he's like he's kind of his own person. He's doing that whole I've never been more alive. He's playing with the gun. Chris Red is like, I'm scared. So I'm just wondering, but I wonder if he's gonna start like taunting people because they don't know that he's alive. This is why I wish Ronnie was still alive. But anyway, he doesn't know, the people don't know that he's still alive. So I'm wondering if he's going to start going after his enemy list. So that should be a really interesting play. And then again, I'm just wondering who Breeze could be, because we all thought, or maybe he still is Breeze. And that is now his new identity, because it's like, I'm dead. So you can't say I'm a ghost because that's kind of already taken. But you could say, like, I was gone with the breeze. Corny line. But something to that effect. I don't know. Could be wrong. But you know, there is like a connection to Unique and Breeze, but we'll have to see how that all plays out. Is there any final thoughts that you have about this trailer? Very short trailer.
Oh no, I'm looking forward to the season. And I was going to say, rest in peace to Ronnie. We will make sure to pay a tribute to him. Well, I'll have Gary bring in his cereal that Ronnie was eating, and he can have some of the cereal on the next broadcast or something like that. We'll pay tribute to Ronnie, but yeah. No, yeah. But I enjoyed the trailer. I'm glad that they finally released the trailer. I'm glad that we finally got the release date a couple of weeks ago when they announced that. So looking forward to the show coming back in March, and of course interacting with everybody that continues to interact on these Powercast shows. We enjoyed the comments, so we're looking forward to hearing your thoughts and looking forward to the season.
Yep. Look forward to the season as well. It was to come, and we will be back when there's another trailer that drops, or if the actual episode just drops. So, which will drop on March 7th. So we'll definitely see you then and there. So everyone just kind of have a great day, afternoon, evening. Let us know what your thoughts are about the trailer. What do you expect? What do you want to see? And please let me know, is Unique Breeze, or is Breeze an entirely different person? Is he his own people's? So have a great day, like I already said, and we'll see you later.
See you later.